The religion of peace has conquered England, so England is finally fighting back. They have actually designated a new party to fight back against the most peaceful people that have ever children. It's honestly unbelievable stuff. And in other news, the peaceful religion that we're referring to is also currently in the midst of taking over New York. So we have a lot to talk about. You know, loosely, the peaceful religion is loosely going to be the connecting fabric to this video. But I have an overarching story that I would like to tell regarding the fall of England, the hopeful rise of England with this brand new party that was just elected, basically on the actual rubric of we are deporting every single guy. We don't want them here. All right, they're all going. All right, so that's pretty insane. And even more insane is how America is not learning from the mistakes of our brothers in Europe, and we are importing the idiots that have already killed our family. All right, so lock in. We have lots to talk about. Nux, you're being hyperbolic. I'm not hyperbolic enough. I am not being hyperbolic enough. Just to make this clear, all right? There is hyperbole in this world. This is not that, all right? I'm not a big fan of importing cultures that quite literally want to dominate and... It's a nuclear take, I know, Nux, no, you're supposed to want to get empathy. Yeah, okay, all right, you can fucking go away. Anyway, I was gonna say something else, but we're not gonna anger the YouTube gods. So first we have to talk about Zoron Mandani, then we're gonna have to talk about England, the new party, because quite literally we are at a war for our very civilization's sake. And a lot of people think, Nux, you're overhyping it. You're gonna see through this video, I am not. This might radicalize you. Definitely subscribe. So anywho, Zoron Mandani is doing a press conference on a bus because he is a communist, all right? So he's proving how much he loves free bus rides, that he literally derailed an entire bus route to do a press conference on a bus, all right? This dude is a 100% performance. It's insane. And here he's doing a press conference talking about how the guy that stabbed a police officer is actually the real victim because he's a victim of mental illness and we should let him out of jail. Do you think I'm joking?
The Queen's District Attorney is expected to bring charges against Javed Akabardi later today. I'm just wondering if you knew, if you talked to the Queen District Attorney about that, if you talked to the family. I'm curious what you would say about it. So
I think I caught.
Right, so they tried to remove the person asking the question because no. Under the totalitarian rule of retard world, he's not even allowed to discuss these things. But don't worry. We got everyone's favorite communist Muslim that swore his oath to be mayor of New York City on a Quran, and he is going to tell us the truth.
The bulk of your question. I have not directly spoken with the district attorney. I will say, however, that no family should have to endure this kind of pain.
You mean the family of the police officer that was stabbed, right?
What they need right now is care, dignity, and support.
You're talking about the police officer that was stabbed, right?
Jabez should not be prosecuted.
Jabez! That's the terrorist! Ah! Oh my god, this is diabolical, bro! The terrorist that stabbed the cop is the real victim here. The terrorist that stabbed the cop's family is really stressed out. We need to release the terrorist that stabbed the cop. Are we on the same page? Literally, they're turning New York City into a PvP server. They're doing it in real time. All right, we have a pro-terrorist, communist, Islamist mayor of New York City. All right, New York, never forget. They forgot. All right, the last time he's hijacked a fucking bus for this shit. Last time a Muslim hijacked a fucking heavy vehicle. All right, it was insane. Specifically in New York City. We're not talking about Islam hijacking vehicles in New York City because that might offend Zoron Mandani's aunt.
By the Queen's District Attorney. His handcuffs should be removed.
We should remove the handcuffs of the terrorist that stabbed the cop. All right, now I'm gonna actually show you some footage. All right, I don't want this to offend you. I don't want this to radicalize you. All right, Mamdani went to visit Jabez, this is the terrorist, in the hospital. All right, well, anyway, so he visited him in the hospital, not the cop. He visited the terrorist in the hospital, and then he's advocating to remove the handcuffs and free the terrorist that stabbed the cop. Here's the body cam footage. All right, so it's a shithole, snow everywhere. All right.
Since I've been watching videos, I don't stand by the door no more, bro.
The cop's directly scared to stand near the door because he's suspicious. Maybe it's racist of him, but he's suspicious that they might kill him when they open the door.
How you doing?
Are you called?
You called?
Yes.
You coming?
Yes.
All right, what's going on here?
My gosh.
Dude, thank God for body cams.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
All right, nice place. Nice place. And bro takes out a knife immediately.
Put the knife down!
Put the knife down. And while the guy says, put the knife down, pointing a gun at him, this retard rushes him with the knife.
Put the knife down!
He charges, he keeps charging him with the knife.
Move!
He literally approached him with an. Look, I think that it would be justified for the cop to shoot him in self-defense, but the knife of peace, bro.
Move! Put the knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
Right, he's behind the door. And he stabbed the cop, and they shot him. And he's alive in the hospital. Alive in the hospital. And Zoron Mandani went to visit him.
Put the knife down! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Still holding the knife, even after getting shot.
Drop the knife!
Anyway, you get the idea. That's the footage. All right, so this fucker is a terrorist, and Zoron Mandani not only visited him in the hospital, but directly said that he needs to be freed. He is trying to remove the handcuffs from this guy, as he says, after hijacking a bus. This is crazy. Thank God the officer's okay. He was stabbed. All right, so this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. So many New Yorkers are shocked after Ugandan mayor Zoron Mandani demands the guy who tried killing police officers should be set free. They need dignity. Excuse me? He forfeited his dignity when he stabbed the cop. What are we doing? So anyway, that's New York. All right, so New York is going through some crazy shit. Obviously, he is also all for the whole idea of New York terrorists fighting against legal law enforcement from trying to deport people. All right, these are domestic terrorists putting up barricades to stop legal law enforcement from doing their duty. Oh my God, dude, no way. Bro, they got Captain Palestine here? That's insane. And look at this. Why isn't the mayor doing anything? Why isn't the mayor condemning this? This is a PvP server. This is insane.
Oh, you guys come this way. This whole group has to get on the sidewalk and we're all under arrest. Let's go.
Yeah, these guys need to go to jail, bro. They need to go to jail. This is new footage, yeah. This is from 2 days ago. Yeah, so anyway, absolute insanity. It's just, it's anarchy. It's like they're trying to turn New York into England. All right, so anti-Jewish hate crimes in New York City increased by 182% during Mamdani's first month in office, police data shows. That's a coincidence. It probably has nothing to do with the fact that he supports globalizing the Intifada. All right, it's probably an interesting coincidence. And most of those hate crimes, suspiciously, were done by Muslims, actually. Did you know that there was, on average, more than one hate crime against Jews per day in New York City so far this year? I know, this probably shocks you, but in 2026 so far, on average, there was more than one hate crime against Jews per day in New York. In fact, yesterday, because I could do this every single day, here's a student from YU, it's a university, he was beaten by 8 masked thugs. Who knows? Who knows who these thugs could be? They're probably straight white males, if I had to guess. That was sarcasm. Jewish student from Yeshiva University assaulted by 6 to 8 masked attackers near the campus in Manhattan. Really weird. Weird that this keeps happening. You mean to tell me that they elected a Muslim communist pro-mass migration and all of a sudden hate crimes have increased by 182%? It's pretty weird how that keeps happening. That's wild. Didn't see that one coming. That's pretty weird. All right. Now, one of the major criticisms against Zoron Mandani as he's trying to turn New York into London in real time. London, where a rape happens in London every 54 minutes, by the way, in case you were curious. Well, at least trying to do that to New York. Mamdani administration dismisses questions about the 7 New Yorkers who died about hypothermia in their homes, as outdoor death toll climbs to 19. 19 New Yorkers died of cold because Zoron Mandani said we needed to give dignity to the homeless people. We should not be putting them in shelters. That's right. Mamdani policy leaves 19 dead. This is crazy, dude. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. All right, and you look at the New York libtards, and these guys are insane.
Before we start, let's acknowledge we are on stolen land right now. We are very sorry to the Lenape people.
Are we? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to the Lenape tribe.
Bless our ancestors.
The what?
The Lenape tribe.
What is buffoonery?
We're on conquered land.
So sorry that my colonizer ancestors stole your land. This will never be my colonizer's ancestors' land, ever.
Is it your land?
I mean, I live here.
Nobody can take it away from you.
Do you feel guilty?
A little bit right now, yeah.
Wow.
Reparations are required.
We shouldn't be on stolen lands.
So leave.
Right?
I'm okay with it.
I think we should deport everyone that says it's stolen land. That's my stance. My new political stance is anyone that thinks we're on stolen land should get deported. This is my new opinion. But I've been here for 100 years. I don't care. It's such stolen land. You should leave. All right? Follow your virtues and go.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Should we give the land back?
I mean, yeah.
Your apartment? Let's give it back.
I don't want to be homeless.
It's the two sides, huh? It's the two sides. And by the way, these colleges are literally weaponizing the empathy of these mostly women, let's be honest, that are quite literally manipulated into thinking you need to have empathy for the retards. It's unbelievable.
We should give everything back.
If we give all this land back, where's everybody gonna go?
Honestly, we'd figure it out.
I don't think we can give it back.
I feel like we can all share it.
Give it back.
If we give back the
What do you mean share it? We do share it. What are you talking about?
land, where are you going to live?
Just go back home to North Carolina.
Not one intelligible thought.
Which is like, I don't want to do that.
That's stolen land too.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Ladies from North Carolina, we're not happy with that.
Billie Eilish says no one is illegal on stolen land.
Okay.
You know, but she lives in a mansion on stolen land.
Right.
And the people want their land back.
She shouldn't be throwing rocks while living in a glass house.
Billie Eilish is an idiot. She mumbles into a microphone.
Didn't she steal that girl's boyfriend?
Yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now.
Yeah, so anyway, that's New York City. It is a rat shithole infested with garbage and immigrants, who I wouldn't call garbage, possibly. And these are the libtards that voted for this, all right? We are voting ourselves into oblivion, all right? While the colleges and the people are manipulating the masses into thinking this is important and thinking that we should feel bad about ourselves for living on stolen land, these people are quite literally killing themselves. And by proxy, us. All right, they're bringing this shit into the world. Zoron Mandani disses Catholics by breaking decades of tradition and skips Archbishop ceremony. That's so weird. You mean to tell me he's going to meet up with every fucking community that he possibly can, except for specifically the white people and the Christians? No. What? You mean to tell me this dude is literally writing a campaign of colonization, trying to colonize American territory by importing infinite retards? That's so weird. You know, his first week in office, he went to a mosque in Puerto Rico. His first week in office. All right? But he can't do this? That's weird. It's almost like his values are elsewhere or something. I'm not going to say it. City Hall confirmed the 19th outdoor death. We were also made aware of one more additional death after an individual was found unresponsive in the street under the Manhattan Bridge. All right? So let's put this into perspective just for a second, okay? Read this and let it sink in. 13 days into this cold spell, Zoron Mandani was letting the homeless sleep under the Manhattan Bridge. For the last 30-plus years, the NYPD did code blue sweeps of homeless streets in freezing weather. Mamdani, you know, Mr. Defund the Police, ended the policy and 19 people died. All right, we got to put this into perspective for a second here, okay? Holy shit. Holy shit. That's absolute insanity. Like, absolute insanity. Mamdani staffers now want to ban dogs in New York City. All right. So I saw this tweet and I was like, what? No, we're not moving towards Londonistan that quickly, right? We're not becoming London that quickly. Just what you mean? We elect the Muslim mayor and they're banning dogs all of a sudden? It took London at least 2 years until they started banning dogs. Famous Palestinian activist calls for dogs to be banned as indoor pets in New York City because they are un-Islamic. All right, and this is a member of Zoron Mandani's staff actually trying to ban dogs from public life. This is because in Islam, dogs are bad, because the Quran says that Gabriel, you know, the angel Gabriel, or Jibril as they call him, is scared of dogs. So because of that interesting lore dive, they hate dogs. They've always hated dogs. Muhammad said, kill dogs, especially black dogs. This is true, by the way. He said, kill black dogs because they are demonic. So now that's what it said. That's what Muhammad said. All right, I'm just quoting the guy. All right, if you don't hate me, all right, you should be upset at Muhammad. Police be upon him. All right, so now they're trying to ban dogs from public life in New York City. Do you remember when I explained this on Joe Rogan's podcast years ago? Countless noble Muslims of peace accused me of lying. What? You mean to tell me that they were lying to you when they called you a liar, and they actually were planning on banning dogs? Right? Jews don't eat bacon, but we don't lobby to stop others from eating bacon. Mormons don't drink coffee. They don't try to ban coffee for others. The Amish don't use electricity. They don't try to shut down power plants. Islamism, as distinct from Islam, this is a huge cope, by the way, for those of you that are unaware, is a political agenda trying to force everyone to conform to Sharia law. We must resist the Islamists. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty weird how this keeps happening everywhere. I don't know. Have you noticed that this keeps happening everywhere? Yeah, so anywho, that's what I'm trying to say. Why do you say that it's a cope? All right, so I'll be real here, and I can't get into too many details on YouTube because this will get this video removed. Islamism is the natural offshoot of actually following Islamic principles. Don't notice the Islamophobia, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Just ignore that. Ignore that, all right? We're not talking about this, all right? We're not getting too many into details. If we actually talk about specifics, people do not like that so much. But the reality is, it's sad. It's really sad. That's why I personally like the radical Muslims, you know, the radicals that don't actually follow the religion to a T. Those guys are cool. Anyway, moving on. Lots to talk about. Breaking news, New York City Public Law School to host event on Hamas tunnels as a resistance to colonization. What? Excuse me, what? They're going to be using Hamas terrorist tunnels to explain how to fight back against colonization. These are terrorists, sir. These are terrorists. That explains why Hassan abuses dogs. Yes, true. Of course, Hassan he has never left his roots. So yeah. Anywho, I just wanted to talk briefly about New York. This is a Israeli hostage that was kept and starved in a Hamas dungeon for 2 years, for those of you that are unaware. But anywho, not trying to get any community strikes from YouTube, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how New York is slowly moving towards London. So let's talk about London and why there's this need for this giant political push. All right, so I think this is one of the most radicalizing things I've ever seen in my entire life. The British Parliament voted 364 against 111, okay? That is a massive majority of over triple against investigation into the mass child rape after learning that more than 250,000 young white girls were raped by Muslim men.
The ayes to the right, 111. The noes to the left, 364.
So the left won the vote, 364 versus 111 against, not against, changing policies, whatever, against researching the mass rape of 250,000 white girls by Muslims in England. Now, you can say that I'm radical, but I actually am against the mass rape of white girls by Muslims in England. All right, listen, that's my stance. Politically speaking, freedom of speech, that's what I have to say. All right, so the government is complicit in this shit, in my opinion, all right? And if they're trying to hide this, that means it's probably worse, and there's probably more of that. This is insane. British comedians are terrified of actually speaking their mind, so they have to speak in code because they might go to jail, for offending people that rape their children.
Okay, I think we can all agree everything here is a little bit too Chinese. All the restaurants and cafes and that, for a start, way too many noodles. I don't eat noodles. We're going to need pie and mash, ham, egg and chips.
Yeah, I'm going to need to change things.
Cater to me.
Yeah.
No? I don't think you understand. I'm not from here, okay? I left the UK because I didn't like it. Right. So I need you to change everything to make it feel like it's the UK.
Makes sense.
Yeah?
Makes sense.
Still no, is it? Right, okay. Well,
that's weird.
Also, I can't
Wait, people are against this?
Look, at the minute. Anxiety. Yeah. So, when do I get my money?
That sounds pretty good, huh?
And also, they're they're going to need to come here. That's a no-brainer. Why do you keep saying no? I've noticed as well, there's a lot of Chinese people here.
We need to get rid of some of those.
So I was thinking we could get loads of me over here.
Yeah, let's replace them.
Our own little area, and then you lot can just fuck off. Does that sound good? It doesn't. Well, no, hear me out, because I was thinking if we get loads of me over here, then we can vote in, one of me to be in
That's
charge.
true.
And then
Where's your
we can
empathy?
start telling you
True.
lot how to live. And after that, I was going to
Exactly.
organise some marches where we go through the streets chanting anti-Chinese sentiments. So obviously you'll need to protect us while we do that. That's a no as well, is it? Oh. And finally,
Unbelievable.
I am here illegally. Didn't respect the rules on that one. So do I just choose any hotel, or have you got certain prison?
Yeah, so the mass awakening is quite literally here. People are realizing that actually we don't want to live like this, and we don't think we should be living like this. All right, now you might think this is racism, but this dude escaped jail time by not being honest. All right, he was vague, so he was able to avoid jail time. Now we have to understand who the government's protecting, because if they're arresting patriots, who are they arresting? Labor, that's leftist party. Labor mayor found guilty of helping hide her son's phone after he raped a 15-year-old girl. Wow. So this is why the British government is voting to delete the records and investigations into the grooming gangs. That's pretty radicalizing. That's pretty bad, I think. This is a mayor. That's weird. That's interesting. It's almost like the rape of white children is part of the policy, huh? I would think. It's almost like it's part of the culture that they're importing. All right, so this is the Rape Gang Inquiry. These are quotes from the actual Rape Gang Inquiry. It was all of the white girls, and I mean every home I went to. And I mean I've seen girls locked. I remember a van opening the back of a van, and I saw maybe 15, 20 girls locked in dog cages, looked like they're on drugs. Quote. I wonder why they voted no to investigations. All right, what about this quote from the Rape Gang survivor? I heard lots of stories from Western women where their children have been kidnapped and they've never been seen again. Western women that have been married, gone to the Middle East, their children have been taken. It might be Islamophobic of me to even read these quotes from Rape Gang survivors, but I feel like we should be listening to victims. What about you, feminists, feminazis? What about where are the feminazis? Right, these guys that are trying to ruin the lives of every single, human beings, specifically if they're white. I've noticed. It's weird how that keeps happening. All right, now this is the Rape Gang Inquiry. It's a full Twitter account. What happened? How did it happen? Why was it allowed to happen? Essentially, looking into all of the actual quotes while they are actually investigating the actual rape gangs. And every single quote is this bad. They're all this bad. It's not like this is one or two. They're all this bad, all right? And I could go to a random one, all right? And they're all like this. I feel sick knowing that it's still going on, that nobody wanted to do anything about it. We're here in 2026. We're still having this conversation. We're still trying to get people to talk about it. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Each one of these quotes is worse than the last. The taxis would drop a girl off. They'd go to the shop. Their taxi would leave. Clear the job. Another taxi would pull up. Girls half drunk. They're getting into a taxi thinking it's the same one. They're about to be taken to places to get raped. There's a chat. It's a group chat. All the drivers, they're all communicating with each other. Mainly Muslim taxi drivers. Quite literally, a generation raped because of the empathy of the libtards that are mass manipulating, primarily women, in colleges to vote for this shit. And they do. They quite literally are voting for their own rape, the rape of their entire generation. All right, now this is Ash Sarkar. She is a Islamic government official.
Table as ethnic cleansing. When you are talking about the permanent resettlement of an entire ethnic group from the place they call home, that's called ethnic cleansing.
All right, so this is her screaming about Gaza, right? You mean to tell me that the replacement of an entire ethnic group from where they used to be to another place is ethnic cleansing? That's exactly what you're doing in England. All right, that is quite literally exactly what she's doing in England. How could you possibly define this as anything else than ethnic cleansing?
In London, the white British population has decreased by 600,000, while the minority population has increased by 1.2 million. So, yes, lads, we're winning.
Yes, lads, we're doing ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing is bad, but only when it's done to us after we commit unbelievable acts of atrocities and war crimes and start a war where we lose. That's right. Isn't that incredible how that keeps happening? Isn't that incredible? I think that's awesome. That's right. So Gaza, which started a war and lost miserably, fuck them. They lost miserably. It really sucks for them. I'm sure that there are some innocent people there that were brutally murdered because, obviously they started a war and lost miserably. So those guys lost a war miserably. But that's ethnic cleansing if you fight back. Us colonizing your countries, taking them over, and eradicating the native population, that's called empathy. Are we on the same page? Isn't that cool? Have you noticed? Am I radicalizing you? Are you a little more radical than you were a couple of minutes ago? I hope so, right? Let's not forget, that's how it started. That's how it started in Gaza. They started a war by invading Israel. They raped hundreds of people. They kidnapped hundreds of people. They massacred thousands of people. Israel fought back. They killed terrorists, and collateral damage happened too. There was a 1-to-1 ratio of terrorist to innocent civilian that was killed. And they're all screaming and crying about it. Oh no, how dare you win a war that we started, right? That's essentially what they're doing. There was a pretendicide in Gaza, and therefore we're allowed to rape England. That's the logic. Is that not incredible? I think that's incredible stuff. It really is. It's unbelievable that we need to live through this complete social collapse. All right, I felt like I wanted to tell you a good story. All right, because this is coming to New York. All right, this is coming to New York. That's why we're doing this. All right, pay attention. This is what's coming to New York, and then I'm going to show you the British fighting back. So look at this shit. All right, 12 cousins, all convicted of raping the same child over and over again, sometimes one after another, anywhere they wanted. All right, this is a nice story. These rapists have two things in common. They're all cousins. They all go to the same mosque. Let that sink in. They all go to the same mosque. No one says anything. Yasser Kabir. Kabir's half-brother Takir. Sufian Ziarab, his brother Bilal, or Brownie as they call him. It seems hilarious. Israr Ali, Nazir Khan, Faisal Khan, Hussein Sardar, Saqib Yunus, Zain Ali, taxi driver Mohammed Akram, police be upon him. A 12th man, Khalid Mahmoud. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that weird? All right, these guys all got together. They all had a nice gay old time getting together, raping children. Isn't that pretty diabolical? I think that's pretty diabolical. It's almost like it's institutionalized. It's almost like it's not condemned by the entire culture or something. It's almost like we really need to pay attention to who's coming into our country, especially illegally, but maybe even also legally, I would say, ? I don't know. So anyway, this is leftists coping, all right? And I think this is unbelievable shit.
Like you. Are you really saying you'd be at less of a risk there than you would be in Tower Hamlets? On what basis?
Well, I've been stabbed twice in London. That's the basis. There you go.
It's a big city. Sadly, that happens sometimes.
Well,
I've been stabbed twice in London. Leftist response, well, that just happens. Excuse me, what? Excuse me, what? No, we don't want to live in a society where, sadly, that happens. Huh? Are you insane? This shouldn't happen. Are you out of your mind? All right, breaking news. Health officials are racing to contain a growing measles outbreak in London. You know measles? Measles? A disease that we literally stomped out of existence like 50 years ago? What? Outbreak across London. We can see 40 to 160,000 cases of measles. Measles kills children, by the way. It's a very dangerous disease. It kills children because the vaccine is mostly safely administered after a year, after the child is a year old. So once the child is a year old, they get the vaccine. If they get measles before they get the vaccine, there is a very high mortality rate. It's almost like when you import the third world, you become the third world. Diseases that we have stomped out of existence are coming back. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? And now here's the real truth nuke. Are you ready? Measles is in America too. That's right. It's in America too. That's right. Measles is in New York. Measles is in Carolina. Measles is in California. Measles is breaking out in ICE detention facilities. Measles is in Canada. This didn't exist. This didn't exist 5 years ago. 5 years ago, there was no measles in the United States. All right? It wasn't. But all of a sudden, we import infinite retards that, come from the third world, and we become the third world. We're bringing back the Black Plague in real time. This is insanity. Absolute insanity. And you know what the leftists are saying? Oh, it's the anti-vaxxers. It's not the fucking anti-vaxxers. We've been immune to this shit for a while. It's not the anti-vaxxers that brought measles back. It's the people that we're importing that are committing biological warfare against us, knowingly or unknowingly. Unbelievable. Right? We don't have modern measles treatment because we wiped measles out.
The British must allow the ritual slaughter of conscious animals. It's Muslim culture.
Bro, the AI videos are diabolical too. All right, people are People are fighting back on every possible wavelength. You don't understand what we're dealing with here. It's insane. All right. Now, I think it's important to understand
50 million.
a little bit of statistics. All right. Let's understand statistics a little bit because nothing will radicalize you more than the truth.
50 million Muslims now live in Europe. At the turn of the century, that number was less than 500,000, and more are arriving every day. As the people.
And no, it's not Islamophobic to notice this. This is a fact. This is reality.
Who lead these countries try to do what Joe Biden tried to do here, and that is fundamentally change the racial and ethnic makeup of a nation and make white Christians a minority in their own country. In England alone, right now, 10 major cities, including London, now have Muslim mayors in a nation that was built around the Church of England.
Wow.
Muslims are now running major cities across the country for the first time in history, and the English want us to believe that this is all normal.
It's like England. Look, guys, it's England.
The Muslim will come out and he will stand for truth and he will stand for justice. May Allah give us the ability to stand for the haq.
So this is not the Middle East. It's not East Minneapolis even. That is England. And when you see images like that, you can't help but ask why anyone, a prime minister or a president or a king, would deliberately try to destroy their own country. Why would you do that? Why is this being done?
Great
and because
question.
European leaders still celebrate our failed experiment in open borders, it failed here in the United States, and because they've chosen to stand with radical Muslims over their own people, it's because of all of these reasons these countries are falling apart.
And look, we could argue about why this happened. All right, we could argue why this happened. The globalist agenda, pushing open borders in order to steal elections with infinite migrants that'll always vote left and always vote for the socialism and communism. The radical feminism that is pushing empathy, so they manipulate each other to have empathy for the retards while they massacre their own children. All right, we could come up with a bajillion reasons as to why this happened. The reality is it did happen. The reality is it's an existential threat. All right, we could the elites, the billionaires, the globalists that are making infinite money by infinite importation. Whatever reason you come up with, that's fine. The Jews that are, pushing for, a lot of the woke Jews are pushing social policies. That's a fact. You could argue for the mass swaths of the infinite white women that seems to be voting for this forever. All right, you could come up with whatever reason. You could argue with whatever reason you possibly want in the world. The reality is, we're dealing with this fucking shit. All right, and we need to get out of it immediately because it's killing us. It's unbelievable. It's actually killing us in real time. All right, you can argue whatever you want, but this is where we're at now. Even Moist Critical, all right, who will never ever condemn something, some sort of migration policy. All right, he could never condemn migration ever because obviously condemning migration is a far right maneuver. It seems. All right, it seems like that's the case. But even he's noticing something untoward is happening in England.
Like Charles Xavier jacked into Cerebro, seeing the silliness on our planet at all times. I'm obsessed with it. LeBron, scream if you love wacky news stories. Ah! So the thing is, I just saw something pretty absurd. A couple months ago, an 86-year-old man was fined over $300 for littering because he spit out a leaf that blew into his mouth. This happened in England. Roy Marsh, 86 years old, spit out a leaf that blew into his mouth, which led to a fine. As I was sitting there, a gale blew a big reed into my mouth. I spat it out, and just as I got up to walk away, 2 enforcement officers came up to me. Roy ought to be counting his lucky stars they didn't kick his teeth in and start beating him with batons. Spitting out a leaf? Are you kidding me? Who is this? Cobra Commander? What kind of villainous scum does that?
Yeah, so let me just remind you, Muslims aren't going to jail for rape. Are we on the same page? All right. Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page? All right. So bro got fined $300 for spitting out a leaf. All right. Rapists are let out of jails because it's Islamophobic. All right. I'm going to take this one step further than Mr. Moist Critical is ever going to get. But are we on the same page? It's not like they just don't enforce laws. It's they specifically do enforce laws against the people that care about their country. All right, not against the people that are trying to colonize it, because the entire system is absolutely rigged. Now, that we're all on the same page, let's look at the Reform UK deputy leader. All right, this dude he's running for government. He's super important. He's going to be in charge of the whole country, maybe, God forbid, one day. Let's hear what he had to say.
he predicts that by 2063, Britain will be minority white British. Is that a concern of yours at all?
Yeah, I don't think that's I haven't seen those predictions, and 2063 is a long way off. But
it's a few decades.
Yeah, it's a few decades. Well, it's I'm trying to do the maths quickly in my head, but it's in most people, I'll be long gone. Put it like that.
So it's true, England will be completely colonized and conquered by 2060, but I'll be long gone by then, so who cares? Says the guy worshipping Satan, probably. All right, now I personally, I'm a devout believer in the Lord Almighty, the one true God. What are you doing? What are you doing? What? There you have it. Infinitely rich motherfucker wants to just win elections while he's here. All right. The gaytheist agenda, once again, selling out your country and your children for this. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is unbelievable. He just says the quiet part out loud. Who fucking cares? I'll be long gone anyway. See, atheism is cancer, it seems, it turns out. Now, again, if you're an atheist in the audience, I'm not trying to push you away or anything. On the contrary, recognize that this is the logical result. Who cares? You'll be gone by then anyway. Why should you care? All right? It seems like that's what we're dealing with, almost. Which is why I forever preach that our values do come from biblical tradition. They do come from a Bible that was, given to us thousands of years ago by God, who gave us the best value system we possibly could have had. All right, now, again, this is the alternative, it seems. Now, I'm not saying every leftist or every atheist believes this, but a lot do. And that's the nuke. The nuke is a lot do. All right, now, essentially, Rupert Lowe, he is an MP in England, and he launched a new party, the Restore Britain Party, a national political party pushing the restoration of England. And this video was posted 2 days ago. It has 30 million views and 165,000 likes. Yeah, the gaytheists are diabolical. All right, now, before we actually look at this, we have to talk about what else is going on. Important news. The first opinion poll conducted since I announced yesterday, the Restore Britain Party, is 10%. They got 10% of the country in 24 hours. That's insane, all right? Because, again, the media doesn't report this. The media doesn't want to talk about it because the media doesn't want other people to know about it. They got 10% of the vote from a tweet. One post on Twitter got 10% of the country behind him in 24 hours. That is fucking insane. Under a Restore Britain government, every foreign national will lose access to welfare. Unfathomably based. But human rights don't exist. Get over it. Get over it, libtard. Human rights are not real. All right, they're made up by governments. All right, they're not real. All right, they're made up by governments that want to make society function. Human rights are fake. The only right you have is to free will. Other than that, you have no rights. They're fake and gay. Wake up, bitch. Stop being pathetic as balls. Sorry, tired of it. Anyway, healthy Brits who refuse to work will be given work. If they resist, they will lose their benefits. Based capitalism! Holy shit! And to die, you fucking socialist program of retards and losers. I'm so tired of this. Infinite socialism, where you have idiots just dying on the sides of the road to do nothing with their life. Unbelievable. Hardworking men and women will no longer fund the indolent. The piss take will end. Unbelievable, unfathomable levels of base. Dude, I love this. I love this so much. It's unbelievable. That's right, bro. That's right. At the end of communism, the end of radical socialism, the end of infinite immigration with retards coming to steal your shit. Unbelievable. If you are coming to the country not to contribute to the country, you should leave. You should go away. All right? Get them out, bro. Get them out. Unbelievable. So anyway, anywho, I fully support this, by the way, for those of you that aren't aware. I fully support this. Oh my God, but what about the Jews that are immigrating, bro? You think I'm retarded? We should not bring people into our countries if they're parasites. This isn't a controversial opinion. This is obvious. Sorry, bye to everyone, to all of them, all right? I mean anyone, white people, black people, Jews, Muslims, the poor, tragic people from Somalia that are 85% siphoning from our people. The most basic common sense take of all time is we should not be importing people into our countries to literally siphon our shit. No parasites. This is a moderate opinion, all right? This is not a radical opinion. The moderate opinion is when we import people, they should actually make our country better, not worse. All right? That's moderate. The radical opinion is import infinite people to rape us, and then we let them out of jails. That's the radical opinion. Never forget, you are on the side of normal, logical, standard, God-fearing ideology. They are on the stance of unreality, warped bullshit. All right, you can change your gender if you decide so much. All right, get out of here. So anyway, this is his ad. It's a 7-minute ad. Today I'm launching to restore Britain as a national political party. All right, and everyone told me I had to watch this, so lock in, boys and girls. Let's see what we got. Oh boy, this is gonna be crazy.
I have chosen to speak to you today from the farm because places like this represent what proper Britain is about.
Immediate aura. Look at this fucking aura. He's just wearing normal farm clothes. From the normal man. I'm just a regular guy. I don't need to put on a suit. All right? My guy, the leader of Syria, while he is getting his ISIS retards to massacre minorities, wears a suit. All right? I don't need to wear a suit. That's
hard work, responsibility,
that's right.
Effort, duty, stewardship.
Based capitalism. Capital. Get out of here with your commie bullshit.
This is the England.
Your empathy. Empathy? What's empathy?
Oh, and this is the England that I love. On a farm,
that's right.
You don't think in election cycles or headlines or polling. You think in seasons. You think in generations, in what you leave behind to those who come after you. And that's why, here on the farm, I am now launching Restore Britain as a national political party.
Oh my God, dude, they're taking back their country! It's happening. I told you, 2026 is going to be the year of the crusade. I told you this all along. I started this. January 1, 2026. I said this is the year of the Great Crusade. We're tired of our countries being raped.
To dedicate my life to finding, organizing, funding, and providing hundreds of qualified candidates to present to the British people at the next general election. This
The Ents are going to war. By the way, I literally said this from the very beginning. And by the way, this is a disagreement that I have with a lot of my my contemporaries, my colleagues on the right, that say we have to accelerate, we have to be accelerationists and just like let everything die. In my opinion, what we need is to grassroots fuck the old school boomer politicians. We need to quite literally elect a new generation of politicians across our countries, I would even go as far as to say. Not people super entrenched with the society that were groomed by pedophiles and shit like that. None of that garbage. We need an entire generation of politicians that actually care about our country and are not going to sit here burdened with infinite retard past guilt. Isn't this guy a boomer? It's not about the age per se. That's not the point. The point is not the age. We need term limits. We need qualified people that we are electing because they love our country, not because a random infinitely billionaire retard pedophile told us to vote for them. All right? No, sorry. We need to actually not only put new blood into politics, we need to elect people that actually care about our country.
This process has already started, with invitations being issued to patriots in aligned political parties. Reform, the Conservatives, the SDP, Advance, and more. In local politics.
I thought you were pro-Trump. Okay, dude, I feel like people, either I'm not clear enough or people are retarded. So I'm not going to call you a retard immediately. Trump is the opposite of an entrenched politician. Trump ran a campaign as an outsider, not as part of a politics branch. He was never groomed by giant politicians. He was the guy that quite literally came as a businessman against politicians and won a landslide victory. Potentially 3 times. Are you insane? Get out of here, bro. That is retard. Yes, he is a billionaire that he made himself. Not because he's entrenched making $300 million like Nancy Pelosi in Congress. All right? Nah, dude. Sorry. Sorry, bro. And Trump's just the start. We need a generation of people kind of like Trump that, I mean, obviously he doesn't exactly have the values that I personally believe in, but I do think he's been straight fire for the majority of the shit that he's been pushing. He did, for whether you like it or not, and I don't think he's going hard enough on the mass deportations. He restarted mass deportations and immigration debate on a global scale. Nah, dude. We're just getting started.
We will work in partnership with localised political parties, such as Great Yarmouth First, that have the best interests of their residents at heart, combining our forces at the next general election. The men and women standing for Restore in that election will not be politicians.
Based!
I promise you that.
Oh my god, this is exactly what I'm saying! I didn't watch this ad, by the way. That's exactly what I'm saying. Oh my god. That's right. That's right. It's the person in the town that the townspeople think are most qualified to preach the values of the town that he's from, because he loves his town. Oh my god.
They will not be failed ministers. They will not be tainted by failures of the past. They will be from business, from the military, from science, from medicine, from education, from industry.
That's right.
Representing real communities up and down the country. Every single one will be from well outside the existing political establishment.
Oh my god, he's cooking. This is the only way. It's the only way for England. Because both parties are, like, again, I don't want to be a doomer here, but in England, no matter who you vote, you're getting immigration. All right, you vote for the right-wing party, you get immigration. You vote for the left-wing party, you get more immigration. That's essentially what England became. All right, Brexit was supposed to limit immigration. It didn't. And no matter what they say, it really doesn't matter. This is the wrench thrown into the system.
Every single one will understand the difficult decisions that need to be taken.
That's right, baby.
Because
sorry, bro. No more empathy. All right, empathy? Save that for your family. Save that for your children. Save that for the people around you in your personal life. Empathy is not how you govern a country.
There are no easy fixes. I'm not going to tell you comforting lies about the condition of our country. I have only ever been...
That's right. No covering up giant rape scandals.
...honest with the British people, and I will be straight with you now. What is necessary will be incredibly painful.
Oh my God,
but for the first time in a very long time, voters will have a genuine alternative which is truthful with them.
Oh my God, dude, he's cooking!
The first priority is to control who comes to our country.
That's the issue of the time, some would say. I think it's a symptom of the issue of the time, but that's a symptom.
And more importantly, who stays in our country.
That's right.
Restore Britain will not just stop mass immigration, we will reverse it.
Oh, he's xenophobic. Yeah, but fuck you. That's my opinion. Have you forgotten my stance? My stance is I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's xenophobic. Yeah, but we're voting for that, so that sucks for you, I guess. We don't care. Your opinion means nothing to me. You think men can be women. Okay, that's where I am. That is where I'm at. All right. Don't care. Don't care.
Every single illegal migrant will be securely detained and then deported.
Oh, tears to my eyes. Love it.
The message will
You're
be...
either xenophobic or you're pro-rape, all right? I'm gonna pick which one that I go down. I'm gonna pick my path, all right? All right, I'll pick the xenophobia path. You can pick the pro-rape path, all right?
Unrelenting. If you are in this country without our permission, you will be removed.
That's right.
For the foreseeable future, far more people...
I love how it's like the most common sense, basic, obvious ideology, and you have retards screaming because they're manipulated by colleges and idiots to think that actually it's good to import people that want to overthrow our country.
Leave Britain than arrive. If a foreign national is unable to speak English, lives in social housing, claims benefits, refuses to work, fails to integrate, commits crime, or even actively hates our way of life,
oh my God,
wishes to do us harm,
say it,
then they must leave or be made to leave.
Fuck yeah. The way I pronounce the F in fuck yeah. Oh my God, dude, this guy's insane. He's so right. He's so right, though, obviously. Duh. Why would we import people that hate us and want to kill us? Duh.
Restore Britain will make our communities safe again for women and children. That, I promise you. If that means millions go, then millions go.
Oh! Dude, everything he says sounds like it's coming from Lord of the Rings. This is crazy! The aura's insane.
We're constantly told that the economy needs vast swathes of low-skilled migrants.
No, we don't.
We know that's simply not true.
That's right.
What we need is to get millions of healthy Brits back into work.
Yeah.
A radical overhaul of how welfare is delivered.
That's right. No more giving you free shit because you exist. Nope.
Protecting those in
There will be a Shire, Pippin!
Genuine need, but not funding healthy shirkers to live off the back of hard-working men and women. If you can work, you must work. It really is that simple. Restore Britain will be abundantly clear.
Yeah, you're not going to live mooching off my hard work, my sweat and tears. To quote God, Genesis chapter 2, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. That's right, baby.
If you consistently refuse work, then you will lose your benefits.
Based.
We will punish indolence.
That sucks, bro.
And more importantly,
Anyway.
we will reward success.
That's
we will
right.
provide vast economic incentives for men and women to start businesses, generate opportunities, build wealth, and create self-sufficient families.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Standing here today on the farm, I know exactly what...
Someone in my chat just said, I'm conflicted. I'm a member of Reform, but Rupert is convincing, hoping there will be a merger. There will be no merger. There will be no compromise. We will not kneel. I say we like I'm British. We will not kneel to the barbarians, all right? This isn't coming to convince you to compromise, all right? This is coming to win. All right, get out of here, bro. This is quite literally Britain or nothing, all right? You don't negotiate with terrorists. Sorry, I'm not trying to, like, insult you or anything, but yeah, get out of here, bro.
What it means to deal with energy bills, labor shortages, regulation, unproductive paperwork, planning restrictions, tax, and endless uncertainty. The state has definitively become the enemy of the people.
Quite literally true. Quite literally true. Yeah, I mean, like, let's think about it, dude. The orcs aren't coming into the Shire because they're conquering. They're breaking down walls. They're coming into the Shire because they're let into the Shire.
Restore Britain will burn away suffocating taxes on work and enterprise. We will slash unnecessary regulation. We will dismantle bloated quangos and the overbearing HR culture.
Oh my God.
We must crush parasitic Britain. We will restore long-term, stable, logical policy.
Oh, he's right.
So that businesses can plan.
Oh, that's what I love
and
to hear.
invest
Dude, I'm
and
a big fan of capitalism. I don't know if you heard the news.
grow again. But Restore Britain is about much more than numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about who we are as a nation.
That's right.
And who we are as a people.
That's right.
Britain is not just an economy.
He's saying all the right things, man. He's saying all the right things. That's why I'm making this video, all right? If you're British, you have to know this is happening, and you have to tell your cousins and your uncles.
Britain is not just an idea.
That's right.
Britain is not just a passport.
God, this dude, he's saying all the right things, man. Britain is not just a passport, you fucking retards. But what do you mean? I have a British passport. I'm right over here. I am as British as all of you. No, you're not. You are not. Go back to Canada where you came from with that accent. That's a Canadian accent. All right, get out of here.
Britain is a nation. Britain is a people.
He's right.
Our people. And Restore Britain will never allow that to be erased. We will celebrate our Christian heritage.
Music. Music to my ears. That's right. It's a country based on biblical values, Christian values specifically. And you got to get back to that.
And the identity that built
right.
and shaped this country. Responsibility, restraint, forgiveness, duty, and fairness. In short, a high-trust society. That will mean defending our culture. That will mean resisting the relentless creep of radical Islam.
Oh my God, he said the thing. He's Islamophobic and xenophobic.
That will mean banning the burqa.
This dude is cinema.
Outlawing Sharia law. Blocking cousin marriages.
I love how he needed to say that. I love how he needed to say that, bro. He's not suicidal. No, you don't have to worry about that. You know, if he gets killed, people will take credit for it. I say that with a heavy heart, but there's a big difference between when, like, the Clintons kill somebody allegedly, or if Islam kills somebody. If the Clintons kill somebody, it's a suicide with 3 bullets in the back of the head, ruled to drowning. All right, and if Islam kills somebody, they all take credit for it. Just to like understand. All right, blocking cousin marriages. W.
And reimposing our Christian-based rule of law.
Oh my God, dude, we need that in America so badly. Look, man, I'm an Old Testament guy, all right? I really am. I'm an Old Testament guy, absolutely. We need to bring that shit back immediately. Immediately!
The Restore Britain government would legislate to ensure that no halal or kosher slaughter on British soil.
So I eat kosher, I'm Jewish, I support this. I get it. All right, I do. I get it. I totally get it. All right, if it's not part of the culture, that's fine. Import it from somewhere else where it is accepted. You know, that makes total sense to me. And once again, you know, no one had an issue with Jews eating kosher until, you know, Muslims came in and started doing halal. You know, I'm just going to say, Muslims are ruining shit for Jews in England. It's crazy how that keeps happening. Kosher is not like halal. No, it's not at all like halal. And also, Jews don't impose kosher laws onto other cultures or groups, whereas Islam literally pushes halal on other groups, saying that, how dare you make food that's not halal, and freak out and crash out and stuff. What's kosher? It's just the way they slaughter animals, essentially. Yeah, no, I'm not against that at all. That makes sense to me. I totally get it. I mean, quite literally, they have to get rid of the guys. They have to get rid of the guys, and you can't say no halal but yes kosher, because then it's obvious that you're specifically against Islam. So I get it. I mean, the Jews are catching a stray, but like, I'll be real. Banning kosher in England, kosher slaughter in England, and I think this is a super important detail, is worth it if it means that Jews aren't going to be getting stabbed and gunned down by Afghan nationals in the streets. You know, there was a guy named Syria Jihad. All right, he's a guy. He murdered 2 Jews in some synagogue in Manchester. All right, you know, I think everyone would trade kosher slaughter on British soil for that.
This is Britain, and we will do things our way. This political party now exists for one reason: to restore Britain.
Based.
To make it a better, safer, and more prosperous place for British men and women to raise their families. It will be difficult.
All right, people are not like on the same page. First of all, you can import kosher. Second of all, it's only meat. It's only animal products that need specific slaughter. Everything else, like any fruits, vegetables, like cereals, for example, for the most part, is all kosher anyway. It's only animal products, and that would just need to be imported instead of slaughtered on British soil, which for the most part it is. For the most part, it is anyway. All right, there's very little slaughter on British soil, like kosher slaughter. Most of it's done in like Argentina, for example. And kosher slaughter, by the way, is just slitting the animal's throat in one cut. That's what it is, for those of you that are unaware.
And it will be painful. But I assure you, it is possible. I hope you will consider joining me on this journey and becoming a member.
It's blessed by a priest? Okay, all right, dude. We're not getting into kosher laws right now. The laws of kosher are literally Leviticus chapter 11. Feel free to read it. That's the laws of kosher. It's in the Bible. Leviticus chapter 11. Go for it yourself. Knock yourself out. It does not need to be blessed by a rabbi or a priest or anything like that. That's fake news. That's not a thing.
Member of our party. It is our country. It is now our collective responsibility to act.
Based.
Together,
this dude's killing it.
We will restore Britain. Thank you.
England's coming back, guys. England's coming back. That's crazy. Absolute insanity. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate you. And I am praying for Britain to free itself from the shackles of retards trying to rape and kill each other. This is honestly insane stuff. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys immensely. And I'm praying for England to come back. Look, England and America have been allies for a very long time. They're nations that share culture, that share a lot of people, and quite literally share biblical values. So yeah, no, I do want this to work very, very well. Quite literally, I'm praying for you guys. You have a much harder battle than we do, but New York is quickly trying to catch up. So thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Bro was aura farming like crazy with this video. You're right, British passport doesn't make you British. If you can work, you must work. Oh my God. Music to my ears. Praise God. 2026, year of the Great Crusade. We're taking our countries back. God is good. See you in the next one. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.